Next Bank is proud to sponsor Digital Weather Desk with local meteorologist Jared Floyd.
The Digital Weather Desk is your local source for the latest weather information to help keep you and your family safe and to plan your week. You can follow us on our social media platforms, download our app, and you can also find us at digitalweatherdesk.com. The Digital Weather Desk,
Powered by Century Next Bank.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Happy Tuesday morning, 3rd of March. Joining you a smidge early this morning. Wife's out of town, so hanging out with the gremlin early this morning. Actually, both gremlins are in the house this morning. The teenage gremlin and the 22-month-old gremlin. And so we're trying to get folks up and moving for school, and then the little one's still sleeping. So joining you a smidge early this morning before she wakes up so we can get her rolling for the day. And then obviously I'll join you midday and then later this afternoon with a look at the forecast as well and some content in between. Check of I-20, obviously bottom part of the 6 o'clock hour. Everything's still moving smoothly, but the clouds have started to roll back in. We'll talk more about those in just a minute. We're in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees, noticeably warmer across the area to start the morning off. Most of us a good 5 to 10, even 15 degrees warmer than we were at this point yesterday. Only exception is across southern Arkansas, where it is warmer, but not quite as warm compared to yesterday morning. Dew points are on the climb as well. They were in the 40s yesterday, back into the 50s to near 60 degrees. So the low-level moisture obviously responding. That's obviously going to be in step with the low clouds that have started to move back in across the region as well. Visibility is limited in some spots. There are some areas of low clouds and some patchy fog, mainly in the southwestern counties and parishes, and maybe even into the western counties and parishes. But generally speaking, most of these areas have really been kind of limited overall in the scope in terms of any kind of visibility limitations. The winds have been fairly persistent out of the south and southeast this morning in the 3 to 8 mile an hour range. Again, overall, I don't really expect a lot of widespread visibility problems, but the clouds will hang around through the morning, and we do expect at least to see some peaks of sunshine this afternoon, may even end the day under mostly sunny skies. Daytime highs will land in the low end of the 80s. Your day planner, as always, made possible by the Monroe Chamber of Commerce. Leaders of Change. Learn more at monroe.org. It'll be a breezy afternoon as well. Winds will be back out of the south as we head through the morning hours. Miss Hannah, good morning. Hopefully you're having a wonderful start to this Tuesday. Overall, not a whole lot has changed in the general thought process of the forecast as we head toward the latter part of this weekend into the weekend. We'll talk about that at length in just a minute. Visible satellite shows some high clouds traipsing through, but what you probably don't notice as much is the subtle shade of gray, the low clouds, and the fog that has ramped up across the area. For much of our area, it's more low clouds. This is a filter that helps to kind of better accentuate some of the low cloud cover across the region, and so again, it kind of drives the point home that there's a lot out there that you're not necessarily seeing on the infrared satellites. Too early in the morning for us to really use the visible satellite because the sun's not up completely yet. So again, the clouds are out there, and they'll peek through. They'll linger through the next couple of days, and the sunshine will have to peek through this afternoon. Check of the radar made possible by Brown's Roofing. Schedule your free roof inspection, commercial or residential, at brownsroofingla.com. Nothing doing radar-wise in our area yet. Could see a few storms tomorrow. Futurecast shows that the potential for the storm activity mainly in our western counties and parishes as we go through the Wednesday time frame. So cold front sets up to our west, and this front will eventually stall. So it will be the focal point of perhaps a few thunderstorms late tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. Most of that activity probably stays to our northwest and to our north, and then continues as the front remains stalled. I know it advances off to the east. You could consider it maybe a secondary boundary that fills in behind it, but it's generally the same frontal system that just remains stalled across much of the Ozarks and through portions of the Red River Valley and into the Plain States. And this will be the boundary that eventually, as we go through the day on Saturday, just kind of drags to the southeast and will eventually be kind of the stalling point and the focal point for any rain that we deal with this weekend. Most of what we would see Thursday and Friday, if we see any kind of rain, would likely be rather spotty, and then you can see the frontal system that moves into the region on Saturday that would bring showers and storms back into the region, although there's still a lot of question marks as to how the upper level components will feed this system. There looks to be a front that will be stalled, but how much of an organized storm threat is still very much in question. The orientation of this boundary and the main upper level disturbance will be displaced well to the northeast, and so this front doesn't necessarily provide an ideal scenario for severe weather development, which is obviously good news. I'll scoot the chair up a little bit. But it does set us up for some rainfall. So if you have weekend plans, showers and storms do look to be a possibility through Saturday. I know you're probably wondering, go farther out with this particular computer model, but this particular Futurecast graphic only goes out about 90 hours. So this is as far out as we can go. Obviously, we'll have more information as we go through the next couple of days. Futurecast always made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. The severe weather threat for tomorrow, slight risk level 2, again, from the Ozarks stretching through portions of the Arklatex and into the Red River Valley. For our area, it's a marginal risk level 1, and it only includes a sliver of our coverage area, portions of southern Arkansas and far northwestern Louisiana. Damaging winds and hail would be the primary concerns for any isolated storms that could kind of spill into our area. Not really expecting, widespread storms to barrel through the region. There's just a few storms that could just kind of traipse through the Arklamis, if you will, late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Again, not expected to be a widespread problem. The severe weather threat for Thursday then pulls up well to our west as the upper level components of the system kind of split as we head through the latter part of the week. Again, main disturbance will bring a cold front through and stall, and then there will be another upper low that just kind of hangs out to the southwest, funneling moisture up and over that boundary. It does set the stage for rounds of rainfall Saturday, Sunday, and perhaps into early Monday before that upper disturbance moves out middle parts of next week, and that would set us up for another round of showers and thunderstorms. The Friday severe weather threat, again, Arklatex region, but really more focused and perhaps much more concentrated across portions of the Red River Valley, through the Ozarks, into the Plain States, and even into the mid-Mississippi Valley, where we have that 30% chance, or 30% chance area, which basically, again, shows a higher confidence of severe weather potential in those areas. Again, at this point, we're still looking at trends, not a lot of specifics. We're looking at the timing of this storm system, of course, but in terms of trying to delineate any potential threats for our area, most of this, at least through the bulk of the week, looks to stay to our west. I know you're probably thinking, what about the Saturday severe weather threat? There was one yesterday. Well, there isn't one today because the confidence in being able to draw out an area, delineate an area that has the greatest threat is pretty tough to do. The predictability of trying to forecast, who's going to see the best chance for organized thunderstorm potential on Saturday is pretty limited. I think there will be a marginal severe weather threat along that boundary, but in terms of a concentrated, widespread severe weather threat, right now it does not appear to be the case. Could still change, but that's just kind of where we sit for the time being. In terms of rain totals, and again, we've been talking about how the data will waffle back and forth. Yesterday, we were talking 2 and 4 inch rain totals during the morning. Then we backed off into that 1 to 3 inch range during the midday, and then we backed off even a little bit more late in the day. And I mentioned that a lot of this data will kind of waffle back and forth as we continue to get a better grip on this storm system into the weekend. And we've started to see those rain totals really level off, at least through Monday. And again, this does not include any rain potential for early to middle parts of next week, and we'll probably be dealing with some stuff then. But it does stagger us out from generally some 1 to 3 inch rain totals across the region. Again, this is just computer model data. The official forecast kind of paints us in the same general thought process. 1 to 3 inch totals. Some obviously storm-driven higher amounts will be a possibility as well. I still think there's a possibility that these rain totals may still be a smidge overcooked, meaning that they may be a little overdone. They may also still be very underdone. But again, I just have some skepticism in terms of how the storm system evolves and splits this weekend, and as to how concentrated our heavy rain potential will be. I know a lot of folks are looking for rain. They're looking for drought-busting rain, and they're really looking for an end to all the burn bans and things like that. And while this does appear to trend us in the right direction, and it does look very promising in a lot of those regards, I don't want folks to get overly excited and go, okay, the drought ends this weekend, because it may not. Again, there's still how the system evolves. there's still a chance that these rain chances kind of fall a little bit flatter than what we're expecting, and we may underperform. And so I just want to throw that scenario out there. I don't want folks to be staring at me Monday or Tuesday going, what happened to the 3 inches of rain? I'll go back and clip this part of the video and go, no, I mentioned that this was a possibility. That said, storm-driven rains of 3, 4, 5 inches are not out of the question as well. Just, again, all depends on how the storm evolves. I feel like I've said again 80,000 times this morning. Daytime highs will be in the low end of the 80s. Mostly cloudy to start, partly cloudy, or even mostly sunny to end. It'll be warm and breezy. Ida, Janet, Susie, thank you so much for joining in early this morning. Overnight lows tonight will fall most spots into the low to mid-60s. Winds will stay out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour, again under partly cloudy skies. A look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware. I did bump the rain chances 10% for Saturday and Sunday. They've been all over the place over the last 7 days or over the last 3 days. And that's what they're designed to do. Again, those numbers, if you check them every day and you're like, man, he's been moving these numbers all over the place. The forecast goes where the data takes us. And I mentioned that yesterday. We had those rain chances up to 80% on Saturday a couple of days ago. Brought them down to 50%, back up to 60% now. So again, there's still some wiggle room and some maneuvering in the forecast that'll have to be made through the weekend and into the early parts of next week. I wouldn't be surprised for a severe weather threat in some regard to sneak in, to pop up at some point. Morning lows will be in the mid-60s. And again, periods of heavy rain can't be ruled out as well. And that's how the forecast shakes out early on this Tuesday morning, first Tuesday in March of 2026. The too long didn't read set for 9:30 this morning. Midday stream, late afternoon stream, all just kind of your normal stuff is expected today. As I mentioned, later this week, the Floyd family is expected to go to Galveston for some close friends of ours are getting married, and we're really excited about visiting. That obviously includes some potential hazardous weather, or at least some disruptive weather across our area this weekend. I'll still be providing content for you. If the forecast changes to the point where we're looking at a greater severe weather threat, obviously I'll adjust our plans accordingly, or at least my plans accordingly. But right now, I think I'm headed to Galveston this weekend, and I'll provide updates and content and stuff as needed from hotel rooms and beyond as we go through the upcoming weekend. At least that's how I'm planning it out for the time being. Obviously, I'll make changes and adjustments as needed as well. Aside from that, like I said, too long didn't read set for 9:30. Your forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app. For our normal folks that usually hop in at 7:30, 7:45, and they're going to see this and go, oh man, he jumped in way early this morning. Again, family life made me adjust the schedule just a tad. Hope you don't mind. And again, this video will be here for your viewing pleasure whenever you need to access it. And you can always just go to the app or to the website for the latest forecast in your area. Hey, have a great Tuesday. I'll keep an eye on things, and we're going to completely reboot and refresh the forecast later this morning with the latest information going into this weekend. Again, there's going to be a lot of changes here and there, and we'll keep you updated with all of them. Thanks so much for stopping by. The Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. As always, we're so glad you're here. Thanks for being part of our weather community. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.